Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below that's got my social media, and it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. At first, I was going to not cover this story because I'd gotten covered up with Helene. I'd been covered up with the election and helping a candidate here in Virginia. But I got to looking at this story again, and yes, it's from September, but let me tell you, it's a story that should be evergreen, that people should pay attention to all the time. And what this story is that there is a mother that is refusing to allow her kids to go through psychological treatment to spend time with their abusive father. Yes, that is what this is. It's called reunification therapy. It's allowing abusive parents to spend time with their kids that they abused. And this mother stood up for it. It took her a few years to get the backbone to deal with this because, well, that's how abusive situations work. And now this woman is taking a stand, and she's spending time in jail because she refuses to follow what this judge said in allowing this abusive father to have access to the kids. This reunification therapy sounds like a bunch of new age hokum. Good Lord, I sound like an old man on that one, which I guess I am. But it's new age garbage is what it is. And I'm going to go into that. We're going to talk about the story, and we're going to talk about what this therapy is. Okay, yes, this story is from the Huffington Post or Huff Post. A Colorado mother is spending weekends in jail after she refused to comply with the court's order for two of her sons to attend therapy sessions with their father, a former police officer who has been charged with sexually and physically abusing some of their 6 children. Democratic state lawmakers and advocates are now speaking out against family reunification therapy, a court-ordered practice meant to rebuild a relationship between a child and their non-preferred parent following a contentious divorce or allegations of divorce or of abuse. This isn't allegations of abuse. This dude actually spent time in jail for abusing the daughters. Yes. Sexually and physically abusing the daughters. Supporters have also raised more than $75,000 to support the legal fight of 48-year-old Rachel Pickrel-Hawkins, who is seeking attorneys to help her through custody proceedings as well as a criminal case against her ex-husband. After she objected to the 2 boys, ages 10 and 13, meeting with their father under the supervision of a counselor, a judge ordered her jailed for contempt. Meanwhile, her ex-husband, Michael Hawkins, was released with a GPS ankle monitor after posting a $50,000 surety bond on August 2nd. The Denver Gazette first reported on Pickrel-Hawkins' story and documented the emotional morning when she reported to jail. One of the 7 weekends the Gazette said she had been sentenced to serve. The charge came out of the concern that I raised for my children's welfare and their well-being, and I objected to the results that were happening, Pickrel-Hawkins said at a rally on Thursday. Hawkins, 55, was once hailed as a hero following the 2012 mass shooting at an Aurora movie theater that left 12 dead. You remember the Joker situation? But after allegations of violence on the job and reported medical issues, he retired. According to a heavily redacted arrest warrant obtained by HuffPost, others close to him said that he had been abusive for years. He was arrested and charged in July with 7 felony counts. of sexual assault of a child and 1 misdemeanor count of child abuse. Why is child abuse a misdemeanor? Seriously, if you're guilty of child abuse, you are scarring that kid for life. That should not be a misdemeanor. Castle Rock police say he continually sexually assaulted a family member living in his household from 2002 to 2021 and physically abused one of his sons in 2018. A spokesperson in the 18th Judicial District told HuffPost that Hawkins' criminal case, okay, so he hasn't been fully convicted, but still, why any of this? Okay, so according to Psychology Today, reunification therapy, when a parent and child are estranged or separated because of a divisive divorce or custody fights, allegations of abuse, parental alienation, or the return to the home of a child who had been removed, family members may be ordered by a court to attend or seek out on their own reunification therapy, an intensive practice with the goal of rebuilding trust and connection between parents and children. So this is reliant most of the time by a judge appointing this. Okay, when it's used, a family could attend reunification therapy for a range of reasons. Most commonly, reunification therapy takes place during or following a contentious divorce, and a court orders reunification therapy to bring a parent and child closer together. Okay, if it's just that, if it's just a contentious divorce, I have no problems with it. I'm well aware of how divorces can tear a family apart. In other cases, one parent may have been found guilty of domestic abuse or other crime and ordered by a court to stay away from their children for a time. After completing a court-ordered therapy or other intervention or diversion program, they could petition to begin reunification therapy in order to restore the relationship with their child. In some cases, if Child Protective Services has deemed a home unsafe for a child because of parental neglect, substance abuse, violence, or criminal activity, reunification therapy may take place before the child is allowed to return to the home from foster care. In a smaller number of cases, reunification therapy takes place after a child has been removed from a home because of their own actions, such as the abuse of another child in the family. Okay, so that is reunification therapy. Now look, I know this sounds like it's a bunch of liberal involvement, but here's the thing. This is for families. Think about that. This isn't just about anything liberal. This is a liberal ideology to allow abusive parents to get back to their kids. But even the liberals don't want this. So, my thought process is, why is this being allowed to happen? I understand. Okay, if a parent one time snapped, stressed, whatever, okay, at that point, there needs to be trust rebuilt, because that snapping can permanently damage a relationship between a parent and a child. But this person had a history of abuse. The mother, I don't know what was going on in her head. I haven't found much else past this story. Like all the other stories I've read have pretty much said the same thing. But this woman was probably being abused. She probably felt trapped in this relationship. And so this went on far longer than it should have. But she finally developed a backbone. Thank the Lord for those kids. But why is a judge ordering this to be the case? I'm sorry. I think that the mother who finally took the kids out of this abusive situation should be the one to determine, after the court case, after all of this is done, and the kids should also have a say in whether the father should be allowed back in their lives. This isn't parental alienation. This is actual abuse. This is long-term abuse in which a sexual component was involved. The girls were the ones that took that. The boys took physical abuse. Now look, I'm well aware that there are times that things go badly, but in this case, and probably many, many others, there should be no reunification unless the kids feel like they want that chance. Sometimes the kids, when they get older, go, okay, when we were younger, this is what happened, but he's still our father. But this is not the time for reunification therapy, and it does sound like a bunch of new age hokum to try to allow abusive parents some kind of avenue to get back with their kids. You can't tell me that this is going to be an easy path no matter what. And these psychiatrists are just using it as a way to make money, get noticed, whatever. And the cost is these kids' safety. I think that this probably has its uses, but right now it's not sounding like it. So what do you think? Seriously, what do you think? Do you think that this should still be allowed? Just tell me in the comments. Talk to me about it. This has been Paul, Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic, because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.